Welcome back, family. Today's conversation is one that blends heartbreak with hope, grief with grace, and goodbye with new beginnings. We're reflecting on the life and legacy of Kimber Mills, a young woman whose final act on this earth was one of selflessness and love. When Kimber's family made the courageous decision for her to become an organ donor, they didn't just say goodbye, they said go forward. And in that moment, the hospital halls, as you just saw, filled with people. Doctors, nurses, family, friends, and even strangers stood silently as Kimber was wheeled toward the operating room, not in mourning alone, but in deep reverence. It was, in fact, the largest attended honor walk in the hospital's history. That tells us something powerful. Legacy is not measured in years lived, but in love given. For those who may not know, an honor walk is a sacred ceremony held in hospitals for patients who are about to give the gift of life through organ donation. Staff and loved ones line the hallways in silence to honor the donor's courage and the family's sacrifice. In Kimber's case, hundreds gathered, tears fell, prayers were whispered, and gratitude filled the air. Though she could no longer speak, her life spoke loudly, a sermon of love and generosity. This was her final walk on earth, but it was also a procession towards eternity. And what a reminder for all of us. Every goodbye can be designed with purpose. Kimber's story is not just about loss, it's about intention. She didn't simply leave, she gave. In moments like these, grief can feel like it's swallowing us whole. But I've come to believe that grief is not the enemy of love, it's the proof of it. When you lose someone who lived with such open hearted purpose, the pain you feel is simply love with nowhere to go. And the best way to honor that love is to give it a direction. Kimber gave hers through organ donation. Her goodbye wasn't passive, it was designed, an intentional act that allowed others to breathe, to see, to live. Maybe that's the challenge for us today. How can we turn our grief into something that gives life? How can we take what feels like an ending and make it a beginning for someone else? Now, I want to speak directly to the teenagers listening. Maybe some of you knew Kimber. Maybe some of you are wrestling with the heaviness of loss for the first time in your life. Grief at your age is complicated, it's confusing. One moment you're fine, and the next you're crying without warning. That's normal. You're not weak, you're human. If Kimber's story touches us at all at any point, it lets us know that your life, even as youth, has meaning beyond your years. She reminds us that you don't have to wait until you're older to make a difference. You can start right now by living intentionally, by being kind, by choosing to love loudly and forgive freely. And if you're hurting, please talk to someone, a friend, a teacher, a counselor, a pastor. Don't bottle up your grief. Let others walk with you. Remember, you're not broken because you're grieving. You're becoming. You're becoming someone stronger, deeper, more compassionate. In my work as a grief strategist and a hospice chaplain, I teach that goodbyes don't have to be chaotic, rushed, or left unsaid. They can be designed thoughtfully, spiritually, intentionally. Kimber's family modeled that beautifully. Their goodbye became an act of generosity. Their grief became a bridge of grace. And that's the heart of what I teach in my book, Designing Your Goodbyes. It's about creating meaningful closure, making peace with what hurts, and finding ways to let love speak, even when words can't. So if you're struggling to find meaning in your loss, I invite you to pick up a copy. It's not just a book, it's a spiritual roadmap through one of life's hardest transitions. Kimber's organs will live on in others. Her heartbeat continues in new bodies, her life multiplied. That's not just medicine, it's ministry. And maybe you won't donate organs, but every one of us has something we can give: a word of kindness, a prayer whispered for a friend, a story that comforts someone who's hurting. That's what it means to live intentionally, to leave behind something that continues after you're gone. To Kimber's family and to every listener grieving today, may you know that your pain is sacred, your love is seen, and your grief is not wasted. May Kimber's story remind us all that endings can still give birth to beginnings, that even in death, love doesn't stop moving, and it just simply finds new places to live. Take a moment today to thank someone, hug someone, live a little more aware that every breath is a gift. If this conversation has touched you, I invite you to join my channel for exclusive grief support, where we continue to explore healing, hope, and spiritual growth together. And don't forget to get your copy of my book, Designing Your Goodbyes. It's available now. It's your guide to turning painful farewells into purposeful legacies. Until next time, this has been Dr. Dandridge. Thank you for joining me at my desk. I want you to remember that grief doesn't end love, it expands it.